There is a black car hood sitting in a driveway right now, covered in thousands of chalky white rings, baked in by the sun, crusted over the paint like a disease. The owner spent 2 weekends hand-washing that car, and it still looks like it was left out in a chemical storm. Now watch. A cloth soaked in a clear liquid makes one single pass across that hood. The white spots do not smear, they do not scratch, they disappear. The mineral crust liquefies on contact and wipes away in seconds, leaving behind a mirror-black finish so clean you can see your reflection. That liquid cost $1. It came from a grocery store shelf. It requires 0 machines, 0 polishing pads, 0 skill. And the $5 billion auto detailing industry has spent decades making sure you never figure out what it is. Welcome to the Buried Blueprint. I am going to hand you the exact formula in under 4 minutes. But first, if you care about the kind of information that corporations spend money to keep buried, hit subscribe right now and turn on the bell, because what we expose here disappears fast. Let me tell you what is actually happening to your car. Hard water spots are not dirt. They are not surface grime you can wash off with soap. When tap water or rainwater lands on your hood and the sun hits it, the water evaporates. But the minerals inside that water do not evaporate. Calcium, magnesium, silica, they stay behind, bonded directly to your clear coat, baking harder with every degree of heat until they form a white alkaline crust that is chemically fused to the surface of your paint. Regular car wash soap is pH neutral. It does not react with alkaline mineral deposits. It cannot break those bonds. It slides right over the top of them. That is why you can wash the same car 15 times and those white rings never move. You are using the wrong chemistry entirely. And the detailing industry knows this. They have always known this. Here is the scam. You bring your car to a detail shop. The technician looks at your water spots, shakes his head, and tells you that you need a paint correction, a multi-stage machine polish. $300 minimum. Some shops charge $500. They put an orbital polisher on your hood and they start grinding. The machine uses abrasive compounds to physically sand the surface of your clear coat flat. Because the spots are slightly raised, the polisher cuts the surrounding paint down to the level of the deposit until the contrast disappears. It works, but here is what they never tell you. You only have about 100 to 150 microns of clear coat on your car from the factory. A single machine polish removes between 5 and 15 microns depending on the compound and technique. Every time you pay for a paint correction, you are permanently thinning the armor protecting your paint. Do it 3 or 4 times, and your clear coat is gone. The paint oxidizes. The car looks worse than the water spots ever made it look. They have not fixed your car. They have started a slow countdown to the destruction of your finish, and they charge you $300 every time they take another step down that countdown. But watch closely what happens next, because this is where the detailing chemical companies enter the frame. Somebody in a marketing meeting figured out that if they could not hide the solution, they would sell it back to you at a 4,000% markup. They took a mild acid solution, poured it into a 2-ounce bottle, put a racing stripe label on it, called it Water Spot Eraser Pro or Calcium Remover Gel, and put it on the shelf at the auto parts store for $25, sometimes $35. I have seen 2-ounce bottles at detail supply shops selling for $40. The active ingredient is acid. That is it. The exact same chemistry that costs $1 at the grocery store, bottled in a fraction of the quantity, dressed up with a logo, and sold back to you with a 3,000% margin. This is not speculation. This is basic chemistry, and they are betting that you never look at the ingredients label closely enough to figure it out. Before I give you the exact formula, I need to tell you something important. This water spot hack is one entry in a much deeper library of suppressed solutions that the home, auto, and construction industries have spent decades burying. There is a link in the description of this video that takes you to the complete Buried Blueprint vault. Inside that vault are dozens of classified guides covering rust elimination, rot-proofing wood, killing black mold permanently, cutting energy bills in half, and more. Every single solution costs less than $5, and every single one has been buried by an industry that profits from you not knowing it. Go check the link in the description right now and bookmark it. But stay right here, because exactly how you apply this changes everything. The safety step I am about to give you is critical, and if you skip it, you can damage the very paint you are trying to save. Now, the chemical. The $1 solution sitting on the bottom shelf of every grocery store in America that the detailing industry prays you never connect to water spots. It is distilled white vinegar. Acetic acid. Concentration typically between 4 and 8%. This is not apple cider vinegar. This is not cleaning vinegar. Plain, cheap, distilled white vinegar. The kind that costs under $2 for a 32-ounce bottle. Here is the science, and I am going to make it simple because it is actually elegant. Hard water spots are alkaline mineral deposits. Calcium carbonate, magnesium compounds, silica scale. All alkaline. All sitting on your clear coat like a crust. On the pH scale, alkaline sits on the high end, above 7. Now, acetic acid is an acid. It sits below 7 on that scale. When an acid contacts an alkaline compound, they react. The acid donates hydrogen ions that break apart the calcium carbonate structure at the molecular level. The hard crystalline crust is converted into a soluble compound that no longer has a bond to your paint surface. It does not get scraped off. It does not get sanded off. It chemically transforms from a solid mineral deposit into a liquid that you wipe away with a cloth. No grinding, no abrasion, no loss of clear coat. 0 microns removed. The polishing machine is attacking the paint to get around the spot. The acid is attacking the spot directly and dissolving it out of existence. Those are two fundamentally different approaches, and one of them permanently damages your car while the other one does not. The chemical companies don't want you to know this next part, because this is where you realize how badly you have been overcharged. Here is the exact step-by-step process. 5 steps, 4 minutes, $1. Step 1. Wash the entire car with your normal car wash soap and dry it completely. You want to remove any loose dirt, dust, or debris before you treat the spots. Do this in the shade. Shade is not optional. Direct sunlight will cause the solution to evaporate too quickly to do its job, and it increases the risk of acid sitting concentrated on hot paint. Always work in the shade. Step 2. Get a clean spray bottle. Any spray bottle works. Mix a 50-50 solution of distilled white vinegar and distilled water. Distilled water, not tap water. If you use tap water, you are adding more minerals to the solution and partially defeating the purpose. The 50-50 ratio is your starting point. If the spots are severe and deeply baked in, you can go higher on the vinegar concentration. Start at 50-50. Step 3. Spray the solution directly onto a clean microfiber cloth until it is damp but not soaking. For very heavy deposits, you can spray directly onto the paint panel. Either method works. Step 4. Wipe the cloth across the affected area and then stop. Let it sit. This is the critical step that most people get wrong. You need to give the acetic acid 30 to 60 seconds to work. The reaction is not instantaneous on deeply set deposits. The acid needs time to break those molecular bonds. You will see the white haziness begin to shift and lose its definition as the calcium converts. Do not scrub aggressively. Light pressure. Let the chemistry do the work. If you have a heavy ring that does not fully clear on the first pass, do a second application and let it sit again. Step 5. This is the safety step, and it is non-negotiable. Immediately after wiping the treated area clean, wash the panel with your normal car wash soap diluted in water. Soap is a mild base. It neutralizes the acid and stops the reaction. You do not want acid sitting on your clear coat any longer than necessary. Even a mild 4 to 8% acetic acid left on paint in direct sun for an extended period can begin to etch the clear coat over time. You apply it, you let it work, you wipe it, and you immediately neutralize it with soap and water. That sequence is everything. Follow that sequence, and this solution is completely safe for your clear coat. Skip the neutralization step, and you are introducing unnecessary risk. Wash the panel, rinse it clean, and dry it. Look at your paint. The white mineral crust is gone. The clear coat underneath is intact. No grinding, no thinning, no microns removed. Here is the number that the detailing industry does not want sitting next to each other in the same sentence. You just spent $1. The bottle of distilled white vinegar costs under $2 at any grocery store, and you used a fraction of it. The spray bottle costs $1 at the dollar store. You have enough solution left in that bottle to treat every panel on your car, your glass, your chrome trim, and your neighbor's car. $1. The detailing shop was going to charge you $300 and grind away a layer of the clear coat you can never get back. The fancy bottled water spot remover gel at the auto parts store was going to charge you $25 for 2 ounces of what is essentially the same chemistry, diluted and decorated. The industry built an entire revenue stream around the assumption that you would never walk down the condiment aisle of a grocery store and make the connection. That assumption just got shattered. Share this video right now. I am serious. Send it to every car owner you know, screenshot it, save it, because this is the kind of information that gets quietly buried when enough money is paying attention. The auto detailing and chemical industry does not lose business gracefully. They lose it when enough people know the truth that the information becomes impossible to contain. You now know the truth. You have the formula, you have the science, you have the safety protocol. You paid $1 for a solution they charge $300 to deliver, and their version damages the car in the process. Hit subscribe right now and turn on the bell, because because the people who have watched this channel long enough know that what comes next is never smaller than what just came before. The next blueprint opens soon, and what's inside is even heavier.